Welcome to this very brief Faro chat, just to talk about some of my personal meditations over the last few days, looking at the book of Matthew. And the reason why Matthew, it seems to me, is the book for now is because it shows us lots of changes. It's the book that actually takes from the church from first generation to second generation. It takes us from meeting in synagogues and tiny synagogues to meeting as ecclesia, as church. And it's very exciting, but it's full of lots of church next, lots of change and new normal. And the new normals that we find in the book of Matthew change very fast. It's like a kaleidoscope, it seems to me, as I've meditated upon this book once again. And just very briefly wanted to think about chapter 1 and 2, and particularly the new normal for Joseph. So Joseph is a good man and he's going to marry Mary, and we know that he discovers that she is already going to have a child, and he's not actually responsible for making that child, and so he's going to divorce her quietly. And then an angel comes and the new normal begins. And this guy, who probably had never had an angelic presence visitation before him in his life, and probably had normal dreams, suddenly starts getting communications from God. The new normal begins, and it's not just one dream. It's marry the woman, and then another dream, you've got to run. You've got to flee. You've got to go down to Egypt. Quite incredible how many of us would, on the basis of a dream, grab everything, move our families, become refugees. How many people did Joseph know in Egypt? Probably none. And yet there he goes. And then another dream later, go back. And then so just this new normal is very interesting, but it's only for a season, isn't it? Because the family settles eventually, and then Jesus grows up. And so this new normal actually turns out to be a transitional period. And it may be a transitional period for a couple of years. And that's very much like our situation, isn't it? It's transitional, but it is a new normal. I would encourage each of us, as I encourage myself, have faith that God does know what He's doing, and allow the Lord to lead and guide you, as indeed we look to see how the Lord will lead and guide Faro through this transitional period. My prayers are that we will come through this period. Another powerful image that I had yesterday was from the very first, I think it was, sermon from this transitional period about the ark and Noah and the ark and being shut in the ark. The wonderful thing about the ark is that it doesn't stay static. The environment changes, there is a flood. But not only does the environment change, the ark moves. The position of the ark is substantially different to when it started to where it ends up. Friends, fellow brothers and sisters in Faro, we are actually moving, whether we want to be or not. The ark, God's protective ark that is carrying His church, is moving to a new situation, to a new season, and there's nothing any of us can do about that. Now, metaphorically, we can try and swim in the other direction, but that isn't really going to help us, is it? So we have faith that when the door of the ark opens, when the new normal transitions to settled normality, that we will be able to thrive and grow as church in our new situation. The Lord Jesus Christ thrived and He grew up. And as far as we can tell from the silence of the New Testament, apart from one or two points where we hear of His life as a teenager, He led a very quiet, settled, peaceful life, eventually becoming a carpenter. Friends, these are days for faith and to be encouraged. And I personally am full of faith for the future and encouraged. There is a degree of trepidation and fear. That's normal because of the unknown. But let's trust in the Lord with all our might. Let's be like Gideon. Let's be like those early spies who went in to the land as well, like Joshua. Those who actually, when they see the size of the people that live there, the giants of the land, they actually say, no, we trust on God's promises. We don't fear. God bless you.